Hey everybody, welcome back to Starfyre Gaming. I am Sir Joseph and this is Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. We are on our ship. We have to do this this bit here. We got the data slates of Theodoras from, I think it's Janus and Dorganis. And we need to figure out what they say. And I believe this is where we have to go to do it. The tech priest by the cogitator nods curtly. The sacred mechanism is awake and ready to receive your request, Lord Captain. Alright, let's access the data from Darganis. With reverent trepidation, the tech priest accepts the device from your hands and places it inside one of the drives, all the while honoring the machine with modulating Benhiric prayer. The turbines within the cogitator stir into motion and the vid screen lights up. Nam OS stab true. Basically just a bunch of stuff there, okay? The tech priest extracts the data slate from the cogitator and gives it to you. The machine spirit has revealed the contents of the encrypted data, and I hereby pass it to you. This is where I reach the limit of my authorization, but you now have the option to review the decrypted data personally. Okay. And let's access the data from Kiavagama. The tech priest connects the data slate to the cogitator's drive with such care as if he is holding the greatest of treasures. The servo motors hum as they begin to stir, and the lines of text on the vid screen swiftly replace one another. The great mechanism has transformed the secret data into a format that you can comprehend without the assistance of a servant of the Omnisci. The tech priest retrieves the data slate from the heart of the cogitator, holding with both hands, and passes it to you. The databank decryption process has been completed without complicate. The tech priest stops short. The green light of his visor, fixed on the cogitator's vid screen, flickers nervously. Strings of numerical code begin appearing with frightening speed. This time, the numbers are interspersed with words that you can understand, and those words form legible sentences. Epitaph brought to the beginning, initiated epitaph, begot the incident, that which destroyed and changed everything. The incident became the starting point. The incident breathed life and marked the beginning of all. It marked the beginning of Nomos. It created Nomos. The tech priest, now alarmed, is tapping the keys on the control panel. His Benhiric prayer gives way to distress whispering. Unacceptable deviation, violations of the sacred protocols, possibility of tech heresy. Omnisci, shield us from all heresy. A few minutes later, the vid screens darken and flicker to life again. What was that just now? The imperfections of Vox transmissions make the tech priest's voice sound even more worried. A catastrophic mistake, a heinous violation of the purity of the hallowed code. This mechanism is touched by heresy. It is branded and tainted by it. Now the machine spirit produces code as before, and yet, Lord Captain, heed my plea. All operations of this machine must be halted until the Engine Seer Prime has inspected it. I saw a word among the lines of code. Nomos. What does it mean? That is a mystery to me. If this mechanism truly is tainted, then could it be? The tech priest mechadendrite flitters anxiously over the control panel. If heresy truly has taken hold of this machine spirit and scorned to omnicize every tenant, then the spirit's madness could be such that it has chosen a name for itself. But that is nothing more than a hypothesis. You will report this to Pascal. The tech priest bows guiltily, and his mechanical voice becomes hollow and dejected. My knowledge is insufficient to cleanse the code of this mechanism. I will inform the esteemed Engine Seer Prime of this disturbing development. Only he has the power to expel the heresy from this corrupted machine spirit. Alright. Alright, let's look at these reports. Preliminary report N4073. Subject of study: archive samples of a terrible disease. Assigned name: Tech Blight. Effect: Tech Blight is capable of corroding matter and destroying it from within at terrifying speed. This deadly plague inflects mechanisms as well as any metals and other materials used as their basis. No technology known to the Crimson Priesthood, neither gifts from the great Omnici nor heretical products of Xenos can withstand this onslaught. The disease poisons and warps the very existence and taints the code of sacred mechanisms. Observations: the Tech Blight triggers an effect that is repulsive to its core. It transforms metals into horrific forms of an unprecedented nature. During testing, it demonstrated the ability to fuse solid metal with organic objects, creating something new as a result. The phenomenon was assigned the name tech splicing. Method of transportation: ceramic capsules. Burnt clay is the only thing that can contain this pestilence. Extra caution must be taken given the container's fragility. Any damage might result in an uncontrolled outbreak. Damaging the containers is unacceptable. Current stage: test to subjugate the Tech Blight to his will and turn it into a weapon subject to the Omnici's wisdom. Tech result assessment: success. Note: the tests triggered an event recorded under the name Incident N872-04. The quest for knowledge in his name will continue. Hypothesis 1. The Tech Blight was created in the darkness of unknown worlds, away from the eye of the great creator. Hypothesis 2. Any taint that exists to harm the machine god's creations can and will be bent to his will. Alright, let's read the other one. Theodora von Valencia's personal notes. And data deleted, entry damaged. Rouge Trader like a lackey. I'm assuming that was probably Rogue Trader like a lackey, but we don't know what was prior to that. It is humiliating and dispiriting to put up with the parts of an errand servant to an imperious madman vested with even greater power than that of a rogue trader. Alas, when one side of the scale holds my pride, and the other the fate of the Von Valencia's protectorate and my entire bloodline, choice becomes a futile illusion. It would be far too naive of me not to prepare for the worst. Epitaph will decide the future of the Expanse as a whole, but I have some time at my disposal until then. Heirs with the Von Valencia's blood in them will soon be located and brought to me. I cannot afford to delay the choice of a successor any longer. Huh. I wonder what epitaph is. Alright. Is there anything else in this? Nope. Nothing else there. Alright. Let's check out our colonies since we can. That one is working on something. 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 So they're all working on something. Alright. To the map! Alright, so we need to get to where the Drukhari said we could meet him for our fateful duel. But we're way up here, so that's down here. And we can go pick up our this thing here from over here. We explored all of this. We still haven't found a way to get to these two. And there's still all of these rumors that we don't know how to figure out. But we're going to just make our way to planet. Darganis is okay, so Darganis has got something done. Lord Captain, there's been a tragedy on Darganis. Governor Drivestem has been dedicating most of his time to restoring the astropathic choir lost to the warp stones. But the psychers he assembled were struck by some unknown assault. They heard something, and it has cast them into madness. The astropaths have lost sleep, clawed at their skin to the flesh, muttered gibberish, and now they have gone completely berserk. They had to be eliminated, and now only a few of the most resilient astropaths are upholding the connection to Darganis. But how long will they last? Where did the former astropaths come from, and can we get more of them? I have received complaints that Governor Drivestem has devastated the minor astropathic choirs of the Protectorate. He scaled them down by almost half through blatant abuse of his authority. To take more people from the choirs would mean depriving ourselves of the connection to the other worlds. We could try to hire sanctioned psychers from their domains, but they will be few as the road to the Imperium is perilous. We can try getting by with the resources that are already available to us, seek out the unsanctioned astropaths who train those psi-active citizens of the Protectorate displaying promise, a most regrettable violation of his laws caused by our grave situation. What is the cause of this affliction? Who knows? The schemes of heretics from the cult of the Final Dawn, the treacherous magic of Xenos. Perhaps it was a planned diversion, or maybe it was a random echo in the immaterium. What say my advisors? Where can we obtain a new choir? The astropaths are among the most finely trained specialists in the Imperium, who beheld the light of the Emperor himself and gained a special bond with our master. I strongly advise the Rouge Trader to recruit only sanctioned psychers who are capable of keeping their talents in check. If more is not enough, the Inquisition will assist you in locating and acquiring more. Your Lordship, Lady Theodora, not only had enemies in the Expanse, but friends as well, those whom she helped out, rescued, and saved. I think these people can offer a helping hand. Among them are several powerful planetary leaders who possess both astropaths and a deep respect for your family name. There are a lot of psychers on my home planet, Liera, Lord Captain. Do you know why? They were not despised, persecuted, or enslaved on the black ships. There, can't read. There we are sheltered from raids, educated and respected. Of course, it is all done in privacy from outsiders, but I can suggest which ruler to contact. Perhaps the Von Valencia's family name will be enough to make a deal and obtain a more educated group of astropaths rather than some criminal rabble. Alright, if we do this, the Inquisitor, we become a witch collector. Through Abelard, we gain +1 security and Disciple of the Damned. Adira, we get a psychic ward item. Looks like Disciple of the Damned is she's got a red bar on it, so I'm going to guess that's negative, and it won't let us know what it is. Same thing with that for the Witch Collector. Let's go ahead and do Abelard's. At least we get a +1 security. Abelard, it is time to visit Theodora's old friends. It will be done. I wonder how many of them are still alive. A ship carrying 24 astropaths soon arrive on Dragonis. They have descended to the surface, covered head to toe with protective amulets, as if going to war. These the news of the tragedy that befell the previous choir quickly spreads through the expanse. Each of them conveyed words of amity from the rulers who sent them, and each asked permission to visit the family crypt to pay the tribute to Lady Theodora. The tragic pestilence of the astropaths has not appeared again, but all of them have reported hearing strange whispers ever since the first day on the planet. Alright, we got the Arbites. Let's see, Decree of Diligence is the only one left. Lowers complacency, adds efficiency, and gives provisions. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, let's keep going. Janus. Alright, let's go to Janus. Troubling news arrived from Janus. Your lordship, while digging an irrigation disc, the workers found a Xeno obelisk made of an unknown material. It was delivered to the laboratorium and subjected to a number of tests, one of which caused a reaction. The obelisk generated a low-frequency vibration, and the events that followed were catastrophic. Well, that's not good. A series of anomalies were recorded in the Epsilon 2 Majoris region. It is almost like Janus itself is fighting us there. Many logistical chains have been disrupted. The only people who visit the uncontrolled territory are the wretches fleeing deeper into the region in greater and greater numbers. The observers report strange fires in the night sky, completely imperceptible by the augurs. Esteemed Ultraquisitors are gathering freemen and daredevils for an expedition into the heart of the region. They assume a treasure trove of xenomechanisms is awaiting them inside. What exactly is happening there? The vegetation demonstrated a remarkable ability for wild growth. It took the plants only 2 days to overrun the agri-complexes in the region. Extinct species of local megafauna have been spotted in a newly formed jungle, aggressive and acting in unnatural cohesion. How are the wretches involved? We do not know. It is as if they all received a signal telling them to abandon their work and rush deep into the afflicted territory. Some were stopped by the watchmen appointed by your order. Unfortunately, about 100 still made their way into the region. Permission to advise granted. I await your proposals. The nature of Janus is rising up. It is a lucky coincidence that Janus harbors specialists who are not only experts on controlling life, but on destroying it as well. Even though reports from the Megos Biologus Capella make no mention of storing weapons of mass destruction, I have no doubt that they do possess some. They always do. I see no reason not to let them use them against this, whatever it is. Deployment of fortified research stations in the afflicted area sectors is recommended. The development of gathering more information justifies the increased casualty rate among personnel. These sickly creatures know more about the pestilence growth than we do, something we must amend quickly. We should catch some of the mutants and force them to cooperate. That way we can learn what it is we are dealing with. Alright, let's see. We can purge, which we become Janus Warlord. We can set up research outposts, which require a plasteel. And we gain Audacity of Janus torpedo launchers. We can isolate the region and start rounding up wretches, make them tell us the truth. And we gain Blessings of the Warp Spider. Torpedo tubes. Janus World. Let's try the Blessings of the Warp Spider. That sounds interesting. I'm sending specialists to Janus capable of forcing compliance. The afflicted region has been isolated. Soon after quarantine, one of the escaped wretches emerged from the jungle and handed the wardens who met him a parcel with some kind of Xenos artifact and a message. Accept the gift and leave the world in peace. The wretch was thoroughly interrogated, and so were dozens of other captive mutants. What little they were able to tell was of no significant value. Most of it was nonsensical peasant superstition, although all of the wretches as one claimed that if the afflicted region was left alone, it would not expand. This assertion was soon confirmed, and the neighboring agri-complexes soon resumed normal operation. Okay. Next up. So Xenodeference must complete the Dark Sages. Dark Sages we can't do because we did Capella Biologist. So we got Monstrous Servants. Need 6 people, need 3 chemicals. Get Security 4 and Scorcher. Fortress, Forest Fortress. Requires plasteel, weapons and adamantine. Gains +4 security. And Carcalus's Honor, a sword. I kind of like that one. We're going to go ahead and do that one. Alright. Chart new warpaths. There we go. Got that 7. Now let's come back up here so we can go over to this area. Foulstone. Lord Captains. So we have to go to Foulstone. Alright. Drusus's footstep, compliancy, profit factor, accuser of sin, crusade, security, accusation of heresy, bonfires of righteousness. Can't do that because Good Tidings was done. Shrine, we don't have the adamantine. Efficiency, security, complacency, and profit factor. That's a lot of good stuff. We don't have adamantium or phlogiston either. Complacency, profit factor, Drusian. Now let's go ahead and do this one. And now you have to go to Flogstone. Where's Flogstone? Foulstone, not Flogstone. Right, yeah, Foulstone. Alright. So now we gotta come all the way back up here. Janus. Your Lordship, Janus is reporting about a disaster. Ghostly Xenos figures that appear at dusk and go away at dawn. In a ravenous swarm, they attack one agricultural facility each night, freezing everything they touch. The attacks take place in the complexes closest to the uncontrolled sector of the planet, where nature itself has turned against us. Fortunately, not too many facilities were damaged. Our irreconcilable struggle has moved the borders of the affected sector. The important production lines have survived. What do we know about these wraiths? Not much. They are incorporeal and difficult to discern, but they happen to have Aldari features. The spirits draw the warmth out of humans, plants, and inanimate objects, but it seems they do not hunt consciously, but rather simply do not notice anything in their way. At dawn, they dissolve into mist. The wraiths also differ among themselves. Some are as dark as the void, and others shine like stars in the night sky. What is spawning these wraiths? Is it the corrupted sector? It is likely. They gather at its borders at the break of dawn and whirl in a wild dance, howling and destroying all living things. They disperse into thousands of fading flashes. The agricultural facilities that happen to be in their way will dance. In the way of their dance, fall into despair. Logic test. Something's not right. The wraiths appear on the planet's outskirts and rush towards the heart of the containment region instead of invading from within it. Furthermore, their differences may suggest that there are two groups of wraiths opposing each other. What think my advisors? When dealing with Xenos, one should be prepared for the manifestations of all sorts of ominous mysteries. There is a whole cast of specialists among the cold traders who can whisper at Xeno artifacts and expel the spirits residing within. Perhaps we should ask them. After some of the events that have taken place on the ship, I got interested in ghosts. While on footfall, I brought a book, an illegal one, of course. that described a so-called ritual of silence. It is said to be able to pacify violent spirits on the scale of an entire world, but I cannot vouch for the safety of this ritual. Instead of relying on the wicked ways to solve these problems, it would be better to turn to our priests. There are skilled exorcists in the ecclesiasticary who know how to drive out dark spirits. So we have J do the spiriters. We get spirit drape and lose 1 profit factor. Adira, strange shard. I don't want to do Adira's. That one just sounds too difficult or too dangerous. Argenta gets mystery sliver and lose complacency. I kind of like J's, even though it's a loss of profit. I like J's better, so we're going to do that one. We're going to find Xeno worshippers and have them exorcise the spirits. Of course, Shireen. Jay Hidari has friends all over the place. A group of suspicious characters covered in talismans has arrived on Janus. After seeing the dance of ghosts firsthand, they conferred and then made a short trip into the jungle. After they later returned, their numbers diminished, loaded with ancient Aldari obelisks stolen from the ruins. Locals have called the obelisks installed in agri-complexes a blessed miracle. The energy resonance of the obelisks has formed tangible domes providing shelter against the wraiths. Alright, seems to be working for now. So cure for sloth, science of virtue. Well, let's do the science of virtue. Alright, let's keep making our way to Foulstone. Dargonus. Oh, we've got to go to Dargonus as well. Decree on diligence, efficiency, complacency, okay. Sword goods, we don't have that. We don't have that, so there's nothing to do on Dargonus right now. Alright, we are almost at Foulstone, so let's go to Foulstone, and then we'll head back to Dargonus. Many of the colony's nobles are losing their firmness of belief in the creed and joining suspicious, retrogressive societies, indulging in sybaritism and excessive intellectualizing. I don't know why we can't do that one. Doing their activities, 3 profit, -1 security, spread their views among the common people, 2 profit, 1 complacency, 1 efficiency, punish the free thinkers. Oh boy. Let's punish the free thinkers. Order the colony to be restored, although many aristocrats now hold a grudge against the Rouge Trader. That's okay. Now back to Dargonus. Looks like that one has a plasteel, which we don't need plasteel, so just think we might as well look to see if there's anything more plasteel there that we can mine that we haven't mined yet that we might need. Provisions. We have 6 provisions. We're doing okay on provisions. Foulstone. An incredible find has been made on Foulstone, Lord Captain. A lost volume of St. Keith's lost diary has been found during the restoration of his crypt. According to his records, the members of the Order of the Hammer were able to find the crypto-ark containing a relic of St. Cognatius the Crucible. Keith's writing on it are vague. It is called the Sculptor and the Transformer, granting life and grace. The explorators have sent a delegation claiming the treasure. The heated dispute has been going on for many days. Tech Litany Collection. St. Cognatius' Scriptures. Alright, what is the meaning of the dispute? The tech priests claim that the privileges of the Adeptus Mechanicus oblige the Order of the Hammer to hand any sacred archaeotech over to them. Allegedly, the Crucible should be considered not as the personal belongings of the saint, but rather as a temporary possession entrusted into his care. The Order of the Hammer rejects this thesis, insisting that the right to care for these sacred objects belongs to the ecclesiasticary cults, and since Cognatius was canonized, then the crucible should be regarded as a blessed relic, not archaeotech. How fierce are the deliberations? Quite. The discussions have been happening for more than 8 cycles without interruption. Wow. Both sides have provided more than 100 legal experts and have put forward around 4,000 theses, arguments, and testimonies. The Special Administratum Commission, comprised of 200 armed clerks, has arrived to pass a verdict and enforce law. This is probably the largest religious dispute in the Expanse's history. Abyssus Lugnilia is vehemently defending the rights of the Order and seems to have managed to instill a touch of righteous fear in the explorators. Perhaps it will keep them from taking revenge if the dispute does not conclude in their favor. What say my companions? It is likely that the research contained in the ancient treatises and archival repositories of the Adeptus Mechanicus will provide factual information on similar precedent. I can spare some of my computing power to find such a case and provide my brothers and sisters with the information that is necessary to win this dispute. I believe the chronicles of the Amillennian Conclave describe mystical miracles witnessed by zealots while praying at an ancient banner of Saint Capius. Should the crucible perform a similar miracle, then no doubt will be remained that it is indeed a holy relic and not the property of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Shireen, do you know the best motivation to make your enemies ripe for the compromise? The danger of losing any any sort of benefit. It is within your power to take the crucible for yourself, using the privilege of the warrant if you so desire. Why do you not imply such possibility to the parties involved? All right. So we got 100% to have Pascal do it. We got 100% for Cassia's. Only a 71% chance on Jay. So the hammer and cog, scriptures, tech litany collection. I actually do like this one here, just as a, just because, as well as, let's do that one. Now I feel uneasy at the thought that I have become the mastermind of this deceit. After some time, the Crucible received a visual miracle to the enthusiastic spectators, presenting to those gathered for the debate sacred images of martyrs blessing the ancient artifact. And even though some witnesses claim to have caught a glimpse of some strange people operating the lens machines, most of those present have admitted the facts of this miracle and the status of the Crucible as a relic. The explorators have made peace with their loss and asked permission to conduct several of their own rituals within the Crucible. When the tech liturgies have been completed, the tech priests depart Falstone. Research into the Crucible has identified it as a device for surface terraforming fueled by the geothermic energies of the planet. It could turn a wasteland into a blooming garden. However, a way to launch it has yet to be found. Right? Well, Ceremony of the Faithful. Alright, and we continue to Dragonis. And Verbos is finished. Okay. Oh, and it requires our attention, it looks like. Underground workers. Let's go ahead and do that one. Alright, so first Dargonis. Word bearers. I don't like that. A frigate belonging to the Word Bearers disgorges a horrifying landing party on your colony. A small number of Chaos Space Marines levels everything in their path. Yeah, we should have them hide in the shelters. The bunkers are overflowing with people, but at least they are safe. Having spent a few days in the colony, the Word Bearers depart the planet. What exactly brought them here remains a mystery. I would have thought we would have fought them. Alright, we can't do anything under Agonis for now. And Viabos. Ooh, we need flogstone. This system has flogstone. Those crystals, whatever they're called. We're getting plasteel. Tariff War. The Chartist Guild started a tariff war with the Protectorate. Trade and logistics on the world are suffering. We don't have the weapons to strike a military blow. We got 58 profit factor. Let's go ahead and appease them with gifts. The guild members arrogantly accept the Rogue Trader's gifts and turn their attention away from the Protectorate. Looks like we've done everything. So Envirodome blocks ergonomics. Holy Servitude blocks Lair in the Void and that one. So we've done everything we can do on this colony. For now at least. Maybe something will come up down the road. Alright. Now let's see if we can get to that area. Three of our precious points to make that a safe travel. Got planets to discover. Seven plasteel. We do not need plasteel. Provisions, we got 5. This give us 7. Alright, let's go ahead and lay down on the provisions. And this looks like a landing thing, and we are really tight on time, so let's not land here. We're going to explore these other planets real quick, and then we'll come back to this world and start there next time. A small planet gently wrapped in a amber forest greets you with a ruby-colored dawn. Basil von dem Klirch, the local governor, gives the Rogue Trader a warm welcome. After several glasses of Damascene, the sweltering ruler asks if Ignatius von Valentius would like to keep him company during the upcoming hunt. Sure. After several long hours of riding the local peculiar animals, you make camp in the middle of a golden forest. Basil von dem Klirch points at the sky. A flat disc rises over the horizon, constantly morphing its color and shape. The forest grows silent and empty. You can no longer hear the singing of birds or even the rustle of wind. The governor nods with satisfaction, and a few shapes step into the clearing. Their bodies are twisted by an unknown phenomenon, and you watch the freaks with astonishment as they begin to dance to the throaty crackling of their brethren, turning the bony growths and pulsating flesh of their scaly hands towards the unnatural thing in the sky. Ask the governor what's going on. The governor smiles coyly. You're about to see with your own eyes what is happening here. Alright, let's watch in silence. The hypnotic dance seems to continue forever. The unfortunate creatures howled, whined, and convulsed, unable to tear their bleeding eyes from the celestial body. When the Povenine disk outshone even the light of the local star, the physical shells of the things that used to be men burst, releasing beasts into this plane that not even the most fluent and capable pen could describe. Basil von Klurch excitedly explains that the creatures you saw are the children of the great king of distortion. It is he who is the true god and patron of these fertile grounds. Once every cycle, his chariot shines its light upon the world and bestows transformations among his most ardent of followers. The Rogue Trader may become one of his heralds. We are not going to become a herald. Do we just execute the governor or think... No, we're going to... Yeah, let's execute the governor. The governor's head separates from his neck with a distinctive squelch. Black and brown blood seep into the soil beneath his corpulent body and is immediately transformed into a writhing tangle of worms that burrow deep into the ground with unnatural speed. You return to your ship pondering what to do with this world and, importantly, what to do with the King of Distortion. Order the crew to chart a course to the anomaly known as the King of Distortion. The senior officers observe suspicious activity emanating from the twisted celestial body at the heart of the system. The chaplain advises you to get ready for a potential encounter with the spawn of the Arch Enemy, so it may be wise to reconsider unless you have holy artifacts, sacred wards, and blessed effigies of the Emperor. Aflame with a plethora of colors, the distorted celestial disk trembles slightly beyond the endless windows of the captain's bridge as the Rogue Trader ship approaches its center. An otherworldly voice, cold and enveloping, enters your mind. What could this puny wretch possibly offer a king? The officers of the bridge look forward, perplexed. Their eyes are full of terror and confusion. Many clutch their heads and let out long howls of pain. Some empty their stomachs, but most, pale and exhausted though they are, have joined the Lord Captain, resisting the entity's influence. Ask who we are talking to. An endless flow of images fills your consciousness. You see horrifying scenes of millions of tortured souls. Their screams rend in your mind. Their pain pierces you with thousands of red-hot needles. King, ruler, the one who is obeyed. That's all you can make sense of, though you see much more. Command the entity to release the minds of the Amber Worlders from its grasp. The king's mocking laughter rings in your ears, and deep red trickles run slowly from your nose and over your lips, leaving an aftertaste of salt and metal. Evidently, we don't have any holy gifts. Attack the enemy with every cannon on board. How dare you disturb the king with trifles? The entity is furious, and you feel a gust of invisible wind blow 1,000 blades right through your ship. Officers are collapsing at your feet, choking, and hundreds of casualties are being reported from every deck. A resound silence descends on the ship, and a bright flash stuns you for what could be any length of time. What? Where are we? Well, we got blasted like halfway across the sector, or more than halfway across the sector. Wow, that was quite the move. Well, let's go ahead and call it here. We'll make our way back there next time. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. I've been Sir Joseph. You guys are amazing. Until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you later.